shit. They don't show the full thing. Oh, here maybe. Yeah.
Wasn't he at Diddy parties? Wasn't he doing shit with Diddy? And then
Here, Jazzy, I found it.
What are you talking about? Okay.
Check the chat.
Okay. Kanye.
He was doing shit with Nick Fuentes and Ali Alexander.
And Alex Jones.
And Alex Jones?
Looks hot nowadays.
What is this woman wearing?
Nothing.
And you know Kanye told her to wear this. I don't even think those are her titties though, guys.
No, she has big ones.
But are those her titties or is that like a pasty?
Hold on, let me check. I didn't look at her titties.
Kanye's ex is way hotter.
No, I think Bianca's way better.
She's natural, except those titties.
Yeah.
No, those are natural titties, girl.
Oh, what's her name?
Yeah, not Kim.
She's still wearing something. She's wearing a tight
Panties.
Yeah, she's wearing a tight dress, so that's why the titties look like that. But the titties are natural.
I don't think those are her titties. It looks like something under there, like the panties.
Just Google Bianca Sensory, and you will see she's like known for her tits.
Someone said, "Is this legal?" in the comments.
She's very pretty. Her face is beautiful.
Yeah, but with no effort. I think that's what, like, she doesn't have on a whole lot of makeup.
Yeah.
She doesn't take as long as Kim K takes to get ready. You know?
She does have, like, probably work done, but at the same time...
It's natural looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks a little too alien-ish to me. It's a bit odd.
I don't know, I think she's very pretty.
His ex Juliana's probably the hottest chick he dated.
Yeah, there is a picture of her where she's, like, very young.
Where?
Like a typical... Yeah, I'll PTR it real quick. And she has arrows. Like PTR, the middle one.
Someone said Kanye is tweaking. No, he really is.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, why would you even want that? Women are just objects to this nigga. For real. I don't think he's gay. I think he's such a narcissist that he don't even give a damn about his partners. For real. They're just there. Yeah.
With Kim, I thought she was the more narcissistic one. So she looked like she's the crazy one. But now with Bianca, I don't know. I mean, that woman is totally lost.
Yeah.
But we don't know about her from the start. She used to work for him, apparently, but...
I'm not gonna lie. I would marry him, too. Bitch, fuck that.
You have to be naked?
Out here. At least I would marry one with money, right? Like, the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sick of these men.
I wouldn't be able to stand him, honestly.
Yes, you would. You'd probably never be with him.
Well, you have to have sex with him. I'm not going to have sex with him.
I'm going to have sex.
Apparently his breath smells like a dead person.
Because he's on MK Ultra, that shit fucked up the line.
Did you see my picture in the middle?
Oh no, let me look. Sorry, I'm getting some more ice.
It's the one with the leopard.
I'm about to smoke it, take a nap in a minute. Oh yeah, see, that's her in the middle?
Yeah.
Oh, she got her teeth done.
Ew.
And maybe her nose?
She definitely got her teeth
nose. She has a lot of masking's done, but it's very natural. Like
That's not natural.
Yes, it is. She doesn't look that different.
yeah.
Her waist is tighter. Her fucking tits
No.
are higher and bigger. Yeah, her ass is bigger.
I mean,
It looks
she's
like she
young
probably
here, dumbass.
worked out because she has a small frame. Look how tiny her arms are.
Yeah.
She has a small frame. She had a tummy, and it looks like she worked out or got lipo. But regardless, if you can keep it off, you're doing good.
I mean, also she got richer than she's young here. Also, like when you're younger, you're sometimes like have a weird body shape.
Do you like my PTR?
Let me see. I feel like Diego would love it.
I bet you he would.
Because he's into like these type of movies.
As it can spam, as you know.
Oh yeah, go steal him from Nura then.
Well, let me see if anybody commented on my picture, because I've got a lot of faggots on Facebook. And,
Nora's converting to Catholicism for him.
I know.
That's so stupid. See, this is what men do. Not men, but man. Like, they do this weird shit. Like, oh yeah, you have to become my religion in order for me to marry you.
But at the same time, do you
anything for any man?
do you think Nora's family is gonna accept it?
I would laugh if the person that created that charged 150 as a free.
Open back up my options. At first, I did like fall for the this world thing. It was crazy because, like I said, I've been with black, I've been with white, I've been with mixed.
Hijacked the international sea trading paths, and they did that successfully.
You forget who was the president of the United States during that time. He had the biggest pussy and president ever.
Yeah.
So now that's just never gonna happen. You let that it's like letting the fucking Somali pirates control.
Not only that, 2 days after Trump entered into his office, they released 25 hostages that they captured on one of those ships, international workers. They released them 2 days after Trump entered the office. I was shocked.
Yeah.
The Galaxy
Number,
yes.
They're gonna wake up to a cruise missile fucking attacking them from the Red Sea, from Americans' Navy. It's like they did in Somalia the other day. It's literally gonna be the same shit that would happen in Yemen if they didn't listen to Trump. So people forget the extent, the power that America has, the extension of the power that they have in this world. How big the Navy and the military is.
But Biden, he was so bad that basically all the dictators and terrorist organizations did whatever they wanted when Biden was in office. And also they made USA look like a pussy.
Big pussy.
Yeah. I'm not able to do anything. But look, once Trump entered, even Yemen released hostages. That's so crazy.
That's why I said earlier, there's a reason why he's meeting with the King of Jordan on February 11th. And we're going to find out very soon. Everyone's denying, they're never going to be able to kick all the Palestinians out of Gaza. Yeah, you'll see very quickly what's going to happen. So you know how much U.S. aid Egypt and Jordan get from the United States? They need that shit. If Trump threatened to take that away from them, they would be shriveled into pieces that they wouldn't be able to survive. So it's just, I really see some good things coming soon.
They don't have to kick them out. They want to get the hell out. 40% of them. It's like Trump said, they're in a demolition zone. It's compassionate to let them leave.
Shame on you, Elon. Shame on you.
No, it's
not all of them want to leave.
The number one troll is here.
A Democrat. You're a Democrat?
Shame on you, You know, I want to
get the cleansing of innocent Palestinian people.
There is no such thing as innocent Palestinian people. There is no such thing.
Even the hostages themselves. Why do you call me a Democrat?
You sent
Listen, Korea.
Korea, you're a murderer of children.
Why do you
Come
support?
on now.
Why do you support displacing Palestinian people from
Korea,
Gaza?
why did you send the Palestinians to their death?
And at the same time,
They want to move.
That's not democratic way.
Why do you want to kill Arabs, Korea? I don't understand this. Why do Persians hate Arabs? Can you
We don't
explain
hate
this to us?
Arabs, sorry, our brothers and sisters.
Then why
We don't hate Arabs.
Then why did you kill
You're the
them?
million Arabs.
That's exactly
There's million Arabs.
We love
That is
Arabs.
because the
We love
Saudi,
Jews, by the way. We love Jewish people.
the Saudi in the past. Did you know that the Saudi in the past take over Iran and they raped their women, humiliated them? That's why the Iranians hate the Saudi.
Yeah,
Did you
it's
kill
politics,
women
yeah,
Arabs
for
because
sure.
you love them,
That's a
Korea?
politics, and we're talking about the people.
Korea,
We
more
love
importantly,
Arab people.
Korea.
Yes, but in
We love Jewish
1978,
people, by
how
the way.
More
many?
importantly, Korea,
We love
why are you
to
exiled
cherish
from
Jews.
Iran,
We love
Korea?
to free Jewish people from
I
Zion.
want you to get this off your chest now, Korea. Why exiled from Iran? What happened to you? Was it because of your sexual orientation? This is what people are
Well,
saying.
you know what? A
Why are you
69
exiled
years
from
old
Iran?
guy speaking
No,
about
never mind.
sexual
I'm not
intercourse.
69, but
That's
don't try to
inappropriate,
change the
sir.
subject.
That's very inappropriate.
Don't try to
of your
change
age.
the subject. I
Act
wanna-
like your
no,
age, sir.
just
You're
be
like
honest,
69
Korea.
years old and you keep talking
Korea,
about
don't
sex.
run away from the
That's
question.
wrong, sir. That's not
Korea,
appropriate.
don't run
You're
away
not
from the
prodigy
question.
just to be more
Korea,
maybe
listen,
books,
don't be embarrassed.
go
This
to
is a safe
lottery,
place.
maybe travel instead.
Korea, we
Go
are
to
gay friendly in
you know,
here.
do something
Korea.
else instead of
Korea,
sex.
Korea,
wrong.
we're gay
It's
friendly.
creepy.
Don't worry.
It's
Korea.
creepy.
Korea, this is a
69 years
safe
old.
space for
People
you.
don't.
Okay. I think he's telling us that he's gay. All right, Korea, we are on your side. You
It's
can
okay,
tell the
we
television.
respect you.
David, why do you mute
We
me?
respect you for being gay.
Respect
We're
you.
not like the Iranian
This
genocide
creepy old-
regime.
By the way, he's a pedophile.
Don't worry.
David, you don't know
Korea.
him. We know him. He's a pedophile.
Korea, yes, I understand.
It's
Korea.
okay, we are
He's
on
the
your
racist
side,
pedophile.
We're on your
Resistance,
side.
can you bring up the El Norma, please? A pedophile.
We're on your side. We want you to be free to be who you are.
Who is we, by the
Not
way?
like those.
Who is
Not
we?
like
Who is
those
we?
mean. Not like those mean
Who is we?
Iranian
You're
genociders
You're
who
New Yorker. You're from
exiled
Brooklyn.
you. We the Jews.
No, you're
we
a New Yorker.
Israel.
What are you
The
talking
Jews.
about?
Korea.
From the big
Korea. Korea, why are you exiled from Iran?
You are from
Honestly.
New York, man. I mean, you cannot even move
Korea,
to
I
West Coast.
understand.
Leave alone the so-called
Yes,
Israel.
I know. You'll never come to
At
New
the
York,
man
but
of
I'm
your
from New
age, you
York.
cannot
I
even
understand.
move to California.
Korea.
It's too late
Korea.
for you, man. You're gonna be
Korea.
rotting in that basement
Korea.
of yours
Korea.
in
Are you
Brooklyn.
exiled?
The only difference between you and
New York and he's Polish.
Normal can go
Did
on.
they exile you because you're gay, Korea?
Are you exiled?
Be honest now, for 1
He's
second.
so much obsessed about sexuality, about
Don't
having
change
sex
the
with
subject.
minors.
Korea.
You know, he said, I'm blessed to
Korea,
have
no,
sex with
honestly,
minors.
David,
That's what he
Korea.
said on record.
David,
I'm
Korea,
blessed to have
we
sex with
accept
minors.
you the
Didn't
way
you say
you
that
are.
today?
Our
Didn't
message
you
is
say
one of
I'm blessed to
inclusion.
have the sex with underage? Didn't you say that today?
We
Mr.
accept
Green?
you for who you
Mr.
are.
Elon Green, didn't you admit that you had sex with underage people today and you're blessed?
We
Didn't you?
accept you for who
Shame
you
on
are.
you. I mean, you
can be
belong to
gay in
jail, sir.
television.
You belong to jail.
Korea, are you
I hope
sure
the
that you don't
FBI
want to
hear
come to
you and take
television?
you out to the jail. You know what?
I
Because
think
of
we
your
can put it-
sexuality. You're a
we can-
sexual
We
pervert.
can put in a good word for you.
Why did you say I'm blessed? Why did you say I'm blessed?
soldiers.
Today you said I'm
We
blessed.
want
What
to
did you
put in a
make?
good word
Can you
for you.
elaborate what you meant by blessed?
We're going to accept.
Didn't
Would
you
you
talk about the Filipinos underage girls today?
Would you like
Didn't you
at
say
all?
that?
He was on that sea.
Are you seeking asylum, Korea?
Unbelievable.
Are you
That's not
seeking
right.
asylum?
I mean, you are a disgrace for Jewish community.
would you
Jewish
like to seek
community
asylum?
disown you. You do not
We should-
represent Judaism, sir.
Resistance
I'm
and
not
so he
representing
always liar,
people
right?
like
It's allow
But
liars
Korea,
on stage.
why are you exiled from?
Jewish people do not like people like you,
Korea.
Will Norma. Jewish people are above all of
Yes.
these things. You
But
do
why
not
were you exiled
do
from
this on the
Iran?
name of Judaism.
But
Please,
Korea,
don't.
why are
I
you
know
living in
Jewish
exile?
people in real life. They're
Korea.
not sexual pervert like you.
Korea, do
They're
you think
actually
you'll ever see
against
Iran
the
again?
genocide in Gaza, unlike
Let's
you.
go around the room. How many of you think that Korea will ever see Iran again? Or do you think the regime
They
will
against
fall
the
before you
genocide in
No, he
Gaza,
will
the
never
Jewish
see-
people
he will
in
never see
diaspora.
Iran.
They don't
You think
support
we'll
you.
never
You're
see
a
Iran
minority,
again?
Mr.
Do you think
Nope.
that's harsh?
You're a minority, Mr. Green. You don't.
I mean, he can wait. He can wait for the next
Your, your whole
government.
purpose is just to
for
create
the
a bad
genocidal
image of the
regime
Jewish
to
people,
fall?
sir. You're trying to create anti-Semitism, Mr. Green. I don't let you. I love Jewish people, and I don't let you to create a bad image of the Jews around the world. I don't let you.
I think the Iranian people
The Jewish people are my cousins. I don't let you to create anti-Semitism. Not you, David. I'm talking about this Elon. I'm not your cousin. You're Chazal, by the way. I'm talking about the real Jews.
So, you know, we want the real Iranian. I'm glad you said real, because we want the real Iranians to rule Iran now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Unbelievable. What's the benefit of creating anti-Semitism on your Is that what your purpose is, to create anti-Semitism? Sir, honestly, have you managed to convince anyone in this house? No one's been convinced. You created more anti-Semitism.
I have an idea.
By supporting genocide in Gaza. Maybe that's your purpose. Maybe you're
when the regime
I have a feeling that your purpose is to create anti-Semitism.
I think Korea
Is that what it is, Mr. Normal? I don't let you create anti-Semitism, sir. I love Jewish people.
I love it.
Prophet Moses, peace be upon him.
Jewish people don't love you.
We don't like you to create the anti-Semitism.
What can you fight about if you're only light and shadow? And you're a light body when you dream. And Jewish people and Arabic people are the same color. And they've given me millions of dollars, both of them. And I love both of their women. They all normal. Take all the wives of the Muslims for yourself, honey. And then there'll be no conflict in the Middle East. So I solved it all. There you go. There I am, the Aryan German. And I solved all your problems for you, baby. Now just give me all your women.
David, do you want me to help you, Mod?
Yeah.
I will be out. If he becomes smart, I'll be out of this room. I'm telling you that.
We don't keep people in prison.
I'm out. Bye.
Listen, resistance. I don't let you up because you are a liar and you spread lies. So yeah, you better.
Also, he's uneducated, which brings down the intelligence of the room.
I am white trash. I do not have as good of a nose as you. And I love the Jewish people because the Jewish people the Jewish people are the most persecuted on earth. They are. Because they were the place of the birth of Jesus. So you're not going to out-persecute the place of the birth of Jesus. Not by... You're not going to do it through Muslim people.
Okay, let's hear
You're not going to do that. You can't out-persecute, because I love Jews, so you're not going to out-persecute the birthplace of Jesus. You won't do it. No.
Do you think any Palestinian? What do you think? Like if
But it's the same thing as I figured out.
If an artificial island,
they're just like.
Okay, let Reverend speak.
I'll explain it.
No, I want Reverend to speak for a second.
Okay, sure.
If an artificial island was built, like dredged from the sea, and it was like Monaco for Palestinians, like would you think Palestinians would go there and like be happy?
You know, Monaco is not an island.
I don't really care where they go. I'll build them more.
No, I don't know Monaco.
They're going to go to Jordan because the king of Jordan is going to open the borders to them very soon. Trump is about to have that meeting very, very soon.
No, I'm saying something similar to that. A luxury, a place, you know.
We thought Gaza was going to be that place, Reverend.
You thought Gaza was going to be that place?
Yeah,
a prison? An open air, like a locked-in prison? Going to be
Reverend, it was never a prison. It was never an open air
prison. But what have you said?
Take a look at it. It's never been an open air prison.
See, what have you said? Listen. Within 500 miles of Israel.
I'm just trying to find out how tied the Palestinians are to the land versus having freedom and independence and economic empowerment.
But who cares what they want?
So many times. We have offered them that so many times. All they had to do literally is put down the guns.
Put them on a spaceship.
When we created Gaza, Reverend, right? When we withdrew from Gaza and we had the Camp David deal and Bill Clinton was there, he wanted Gaza to be like Singapore, like a financial center with resorts and stuff. And what happened was they had a legitimate government, the Palestinian Authority. They elected Hamas in a plurality, not a majority, and then they kicked the Palestinian Authority out. And they turned into a terror cell with terror tunnels.
It showed that they didn't really want to be independent. What they want to do is wipe out Israel and have a caliphate. These guys are all kind of avatars of the Muslim Brotherhood. So this is...
Exactly. In the charter of Hamas, how many times do they mention Islam? Dozens of times they mention it. How many times do they mention state of Palestine? Zero.
Like
the charter of
why
Hamas.
can't the people, you know what I mean, like overthrow them like the French did, like the American colonialists did when they were just tired?
Okay, can I? Let me know where I can say something. I want to say something.
Well, wait, I want you to, but I want to hear what... let Reverend pursue her line of thought just for a second.
I'm genuine. My questions are genuine. I
know they are. I can hear that they are. But what are you asking? Just saying...
Can they like the French Revolution, they got tired of the monarchy, they chopped their fucking heads off, they stormed the Bastille.
They were never a colony. They were never a colony, Reverend.
Palestine is not a colony?
Never. They're not. They were never a colony.
Right, so neither one of them are colonies, right? So what's the difference?
The
so why
United
can't they
States is a colony.
Well, the U.S. used to be a colony, right? They overthrew the crown.
Colonies. But what is it that you think? There's not. What do you think is?
Why can't the people? I'm saying, why if the people are fed up and that and it's really like the people who are the higher ups, but they are smaller in number. Why can't the people overthrow them?
I don't think they have the same sense of independence and empowerment, frankly, that Europeans do. Europeans have an idea of democracy.
South Africans are not Europeans, and they did it?
South Africa is pretty much a failed state right now, Reverend.
No, but they got their freedom. They got rid of apartheid. That's what I'm saying. They achieved their goal.
I don't think they have freedom. They did get rid of apartheid, and that's a good thing, but I think what is taken shape in its place is also bad, from their point of view. Their economy is failing, they can't keep the electricity on, they're having race wars, they're taking over land.
The point was that they achieved the goal of what they set out to do as far as revolution.
All right, so let's go to Palestinians now. It's not really an analogy because the Jews are indigenous to the land. The white colonists of South Africa were not. The Jews came as refugees. The white colonists of South Africa went to exploit the continent of Africa. There was nothing to exploit for the Jews in Israel. It was a desert. It was a malarial-infested.
No. Why can't they overthrow the bad Palestinians who are making trouble?
They don't have the same mindset.
Can I say something about how the fact
they don't want. You mean they like having their relatives killed? They like having their children killed and stuff like that? That's what you're saying?
I don't say that they like it. I say that they have a different social structure than we do. They have a subservient social structure. They like to follow dictators and monarchs. Why are you doing that?
Even at the expense of their babies.
Come on, let me take some Reverend Norma.
When their babies die, they say they're going to heaven. That this is something that they like.
Oh my God! Let's say they get a bagel instead. You know, let's say they go to the bagel place. Let me say something cool, right? So.
Okay, he was trolling or drunk or something. What are you asking, Reverend?
Y'all kicked you. I answered.
I didn't kick him down. I didn't kick him out. I kicked him down so that he wouldn't interrupt you. What is it that you're?
Oh no! I was done.
But let's hear your question again. They don't want democracy. If they wanted it, they'd have it. They have, for example, a system set up in Judea and Samaria, which many people call the West Bank, or some people, that's changing in the United States by law. They don't elect leaders. It's not that they have a clan system there. It's like the mafia. They kick money upstairs. So you've got a few leaders who steal all the money, and then you have the great masses of people who right now are living on foreign aid.
And aren't they pissed off about that?
They don't seem to be. They seem to be motivated by the hatred of Jews. They don't seem to care about that, or they would have. They could have had the same thing that Israel has. They both started from zero. Instead, you have what they have is what you see, which is a sort of a warlike Muslim brotherhood, a bunch of clans with no economy, except for refugee aid. And you have Israel right next door, which is built, at first it built farms, and then it built technology, and you have Startup Nation. They could have Startup Nation.
El Normo, there's some interesting documentaries out there about, like, Jewish people, like, they're older now, but they were around when they first came there, and they weren't carrying teddy bears. They had.
What's your point? What do you mean they weren't?
Military. They had arms with them, and
had no weapons, Reverend.
No. I'm saying I saw these, and I listened to the interviews. I wish I could find it on YouTube.
I mean, yeah, you know why they had arms? Because they're being attacked by 7 different Arab nations after they became a country. So, I mean, what do you want us to do? Bend over?
No. I mean, when they first arrived, like they showed the footage when they were like they had the knapsacks.
Yeah, we can't have nothing in our pockets. Empty-handed.
Plus, there's always been a Jewish presence in the land of Israel. Not all the Jews were exiled from the land.
I know that.
There's always been a Jewish presence in Hebron and in Jerusalem. So, I mean, when people
but
say
there was
that,
never fighting before until after 45 or whatever.
48.
Yeah, it wasn't this kind of.
I mean, my grandfather was born there way before 48. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's always been a Jewish presence there, even before the Holocaust. There were Jews.
That's what I just said. I said
No, I understand. It's just for people in product that don't know, because some people want to deny this shit and they don't know history. So yeah. Anyway,
we're not kidding when we say this is our home. And by the way,
I don't say that. I don't say that. But I just, I like to look at both sides, and I'm always suspicious of a story painted with flowers and rainbows, and just very one-sided
story. I mean, if you have black folks in the United States and they say we were once kings in Egypt and all, that's fine. Like, nobody's going to argue with them if this is their origin story. It's like nobody's going to say, oh, no, you're lying.
No. I'm not talking about that. I mean, as far as like when two people come together who are foreigners and in a new land, and we were just, we went handing out, candy cane to the children, and then they started.
Nobody said that we were handing out candy cane.
Right. I'm saying,
this is our.
I like to do research, and
yeah, it's fine.
Because these soldiers were talking, they were laughing about the things that they were doing that were war crimes. These Israeli soldiers.
I think if you look again, you could see that there was a war in which Israel was the defender. The war was 5 Arab armies attacking Syria, Saudi, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, plus militias from Pakistan and Palestinian militias. They all attacked. And their stated goal was to wipe Israel off the map. This happened. And it wasn't just once. It happened in 48, one day after Israel declared independence, peacefully and recognized by the United Nations and the U.S. And then one day later, these guys attacked. And they lost the war. They attacked again in 56. It was a different kind of a war over the Suez Canal. That was an act of war. Again in 67, they lost again. Again in 73, they lost again. So their idea was wipe Israel off the face of the earth, and they failed in this attempt. And this is why you have the Abraham Accords now. You got the leaders of the Arab world saying, listen, Israel's not going anywhere, and the oil may run out, and we need to have a modern nation, westward facing. We want American talent and money, and so we're going to be more western facing, have more civil rights and values in our countries. That's the trend right now. The trend is not towards increasing Palestinianization.
So except in Afghanistan.
Huh?
Except in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan's not Palestine. Afghanistan, they're not Arabs. They're not Arabs. I'm talking about Arabs. No, they're not.
Afghanistan's not Arab. Oh, what are
Absolutely not. No, not even close. Nor are the Pakistanis. It's like a separate question entirely, yeah. They speak a kind of Farsi, which is a little bit close to Persian, but they're not Persian either. The whole other group, ethnic group. So there's your answer. You've got a bunch of Arab nations in the Arabian Gulf, which is where most of the oil is, saying
okay, so Afghanistan is just proximal, but it has nothing to do.
Afghanistan is a whole other
black
It has a border with Pakistan,
Can you forward
which
my
has, in
message?
turn has a border with India.
Let me know.
It's a whole separate bunch of people.
But
They don't.
They
don't have
got the Taliban over there, and so that's what connects me with.
I understand.
The
They have
terrorists.
Taliban in Pakistan too, but Pakistan's main antagonist is India, because they're from the same landmass, and one is Muslim and the other is Hindu, and they fight it out.
But Pakistan, I guess, Taliban, I always recognize with Muslim.
They are Muslim.
They're the government of Afghanistan, the Taliban, pretty much.
Right, so you got Muslim government, but the people are not Muslim. They're not
people are Muslim.
Oh, they are.
They're not Arab. Okay.
They're not Arab.
They're not from there.
They're Afghanis, and there's different kinds of ethnic groups like Turkmens, Turkmen. There are different ethnic groups in there. They speak a kind of Farsi.
King Johnson is how many women have you fucked?
How many women have you?
Who was that directed to?
Let's have how many? I think I don't know. He was
that's Harry
interrupting a
Bowles,
lot. I don't like all this sex talk. It seems a little
Well, the guy's a piece of shit anti-Semite down there, Kate. So I'm just, giving him back what he deserves because he's a piece of shit. But apparently this KG guy wants to come up. He said he can contribute. So.
Okay, I offered him up. Come up to KG. Manishma, KG.
What's happening, mate? You right?
How you doing?
Good. Listen, I've got a question for you guys, right?
Of course you do.
See, the Houthis, obviously, they're a threat. How do you guys plan on sort of defending yourselves again?
Well, they're a minor threat. You'll notice that the United States, Israel, and the Saudis have a coalition fighting them. Iran is sponsoring the Houthis. They are anti-Arab, interestingly. They're murdering. How many do they have down there? I think they've murdered 350,000 black Arabs. They're racist and genocidal. And this coalition of the United States, Saudi, and Israel are fighting them because they're disrupting the shipping lanes. Never mind the fact that they're genocidal. Does that help you?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, the thing is, obviously me and you have spoken about Somaliland before, right?
I don't know anything about Somalia. I know Somaliland is trying to be independent and not part of whatever mess that Somalia itself has fallen into. But I don't know much about it.
So essentially, Somaliland's been independent for about 34 years actually. They're right opposite Yemen on the other side of the Gulf of Aden. So what's been happening at the moment is they've gained a lot of traction with the new administration in America. A lot of Trump's people, really support Somaliland. And they've got an interesting history with Israel. Israel was actually one of the first countries to originally recognize them back in 1960. And people are considering recognizing Somaliland as a potential defense mechanism against the Houthis. I mean, what do you think about it?
Say this again. What are you saying?
If Israel was to recognize Somaliland in exchange for having closer proximity to the Houthis and obviously being able to defend themselves.
Israel wants to have a base there. Yeah, I remember that.
The thing is, I don't think we're going to allow Israel to have a base. The only reason I say that is because, obviously, as you know, Israel's become a slight pariah in the Middle East. So,
no, not at all. No, most of the Middle East supports Israel. Jordan, Egypt, Saudi, UAE, Bahrain. Sudan. Israel is allied with these countries. It's not a pariah at all. I mean,
but at the same time, you know, if these countries don't have an Israeli base there, I mean, let's think about it. If as a you know, fairly new country, if we were to host the Israelis on our land, then we're immediately going to become a target for the Houthis, for the Iranians, and the rest of them. So I don't think that's a wise idea. I'd be open to having an American base, and then obviously, you know, if America's got a base there, then the Western world can slightly sort of benefit. But at the moment, we're going through a bit of an issue with these Somalis who are a bit, as you know, radical and they've been doing a lot of shit. You know, they're working with China. China's trying to destabilize the whole region for their belt and
the U.S. and Israel are a stabilizing force. So our alliance, say the Abraham Accords, I believe they're a stabilizing influence against the sort of the negative influence of China and Iran. That, by the way, that regime has got to go.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, right, Somalia's, they've embezzled billions of dollars of aid from America and the Western world for about 3 decades, claiming to be fighting al-Shabaab, whereas a lot of their so-called government have ex-al-Shabaab members. So, you know, now that Trump's cut off a lot of the aid to these countries, they're not very happy, are they? But yeah, I think with Israel, I mean,
what military bases does Israel have around the world? Because I don't think Israel has any around the world except in Israel. So I'm not sure like where this whole base is.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
What military bases do Israel have around the world, and what countries are they in?
I don't think they have any bases, right?
No, they don't. That's why I was wondering why you were saying Israeli military bases around the world. You said that earlier. So I was just wondering like where.
No. I didn't. I said none of those. Not because El Nuno said that they've got allies in the Middle East, and I said that none of these countries have a base there. They might be allies to Israel.
I see.
But and obviously they're considering having a base. And if you Google Somaliland, Israel, you'll see all the articles. But I just. Yeah, at this present moment in time, I think that's too risky. I don't think, especially for a country that can't really defend themselves militarily, I don't think it's a good idea. But America's welcome, you know, and yeah, anyone that can help us progress and get our recognition and fight these terrorists in the South, I think we'd be open to working with them. So yeah, I think you guys should do a bit of research on Somaliland in general, just to sort of educate yourself a little bit. But yeah, interesting ideas.
Well, Norma, I have some breaking news for you guys.
What's new?
So I saw this on TikTok like about an hour ago, and I was like, no way, this could be real. So I confirmed that. I went to the Social Security Administration website. And if you click on that link that I put there in the chat, it takes you to their website, and at the very top on the left-hand side, they have a 9-star American flag. So all the government websites have changed to this 9-star flag. The 9-star flag is what the veterans of the Confederate States adopted to symbolize the Confederacy.
What does that have to do with Israel?
It doesn't. I said it was breaking news. It just happened.
So is that something that Trump did, you think?
I don't know. But he would have to authorize that, right?
I don't think so. And it could be somebody that hacked their systems. You never know. But I do see what you're talking about. I just clicked on it and I saw it. It's kind of weird.
I didn't look at it. What were you saying about the Confederacy?
That's the flag that the Confederates adopted because it symbolizes the 9 states that formed the Confederate Union.
I have no comment on that.
Well, they really had their own flag, the Confederate flag, which is like a blue X with stars on it and red background. So that was actually the Confederate flag. I've never seen a 9-star flag considered to be a Confederate flag. So
And to be specific, the ones that adopted it were the veterans of the Confederacy after the war.
Okay, I don't want to talk about that. I don't know anything about it, and it's not interesting. Sorry. We can talk about current events. We can talk about.
About 8 years ago, the EPA announced that in 19 states.
Palestine, so-called, if there is such a thing.
Right, I've got a question. So, you see the video of the hostages getting released. How was that? How was that received in Israel? Because, I mean, a lot of people were saying that they looked slightly happy, surprisingly.
Well,
so,
who wouldn't be happy to be kidnapped for over a year and kept in tunnels? Who wouldn't be happy?
No, but more like, not just happy, but more like well kept, if you know what I mean.
What they were groomed.
This is all a smoke
Every
screen.
single Jew recognizes this as diabolical and sick psychological warfare, and it has made it clear to the world that not one member of Hamas is going to be allowed to stay in Gaza, and this war is far from over. And I think the beginning is going to be the good people of Gaza who are sick of being subjected to tyranny by Hamas are going to move along into an adjacent area, possibly the Sinai, and leave Hamas to be decimated, and then we'll start over. Nobody's going to put a penny into Gaza, rebuilding it as long as Hamas is there.
So is the Sinai, is it, I mean, I haven't really done much research on the Sinai. Is it inhabitable? Is it, how is that piece of land?
Sure. There are a lot of people living there now. There's over 100,000 refugees from Gaza living there now. You know, the whole world has wars. In this case, they started the war. And when there's war, there are going to be refugees. By not permitting civilian refugees to leave the war zone, they have increased the number of civilian casualties. And I think anybody with a modicum of sense recognizes that too. They're literally trying to sacrifice their own people in order to somehow play the victim card while vowing to wipe out Israel. And it is so ludicrous. It's such a patently ridiculous idea that, Trump came into office and said, this is absurd. Let's get this situation fixed up so that the good people of Gaza can live safe, happy, peaceful lives, which I think is what the whole world wants, to have a nice life.
Yeah, they do. I mean, with the, it's unfortunate, to be honest. It's a bit of a tricky spot for obviously the civilians in Palestine, because I'm not sure how they're going to have their own sort of independent country, because they live in the West Bank.
They don't have the ability. They've no demonstrated ability to have a country. They didn't even have the ability to make something nice out of Gaza. They turned it into a hellhole. And finally, they attacked a far superior, a militarily superior neighbor, and got the you-know-what kicked out of them. So they're clearly not responsible for anything except for terrorism. So there needs to be a massive reset, at least as big as the reset that Japan and Nazi Germany underwent. And this reset has to not include a resolution, a charter, as Harry said, to wipe out the Jewish state, because that's just not going to fly. And the crazy thing is, it's a suicidal program for them. And I think we've been irresponsible in letting them kill themselves. I don't think we should have ever let it get to this point. And Israel was sort of distracted, maybe paying more attention to Hezbollah, which did pose a existential threat to Israel, and ignored this smaller sort of bunch of guerrillas. I mean, guerrillas as in fighting people of Gaza. And now we're going to have to correct that mistake and stay on them, as the expression goes, like white on rice. If you know what I mean.
I find a few contradictions I want to go over here.
All right, but get closer to your mic, Shlomo.
Okay, contradictions. Is that you hear me?
Get much closer to your mic. It's like muffled and muffled.
Oh, sorry, my hand was over at the bottom. That's better now, right? Okay. So, our friend Daniel has gone to sleep, obviously. It's 1:30 in the morning there in wherever he is, Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. And we were both in a room with the guy that you are reporting to the FBI and some other guys. I don't know why he was in the room, but I saw him and I didn't see you in a room, so I wanted to see what he was saying. I listened for 2-3 minutes, and then I broke in and I said, let's go through a few things here logically. And I went through the number of Hamas fighters that they have, and etc., and figures, and that how many divisions were destroyed, how many left, trying to prove a point. When it got to a point he was agreeing with everything, this schmuck, that's when he changed the subject to something else to avoid me continuing in the dialogue. Daniel didn't say anything. He just left the room, and then they threw me out of the room, and that's where it is. So the contradiction with Trump, first of all, you don't need a comment. You find some great values in what he's done. Being a Democrat, that's fine. I grew up with leftist ideals, and now I became a realist. I'm older than you by 20 years or so, Norm. Not that it takes age to become a realist, but in your youth, your most are very idealistic, even if they're doing so without clearly thinking, that it isn't that it's the wrong path or not a sensible path. So the Trump contradiction is Israel will have a free hand. Hamas must be destroyed completely. Hamas can't be destroyed completely unless Israel goes back in. So why was this deal made? He was able to convince Netanyahu and the others in power in Israel behind the scenes that we wanted our hostages back. You can get some back. You won't get all living back. And Israel always will be able to go in again and do what they did the first time with less infrastructure. It will be time consuming. The only thing is that we'll have to give up more IDF lives to do so, hopefully less the next time. Is there another way that we can defeat Hamas? Tell me.
No, I don't think that there is. And I think Israel is not going to, as the kids say, sleep on Hamas this time. If and how, if Gaza is ever to be rebuilt, and that's a big if, frankly, and it certainly isn't going to be done if Hamas is present, but if Gaza is to be rebuilt, it will be rebuilt in a way that prevents what Hamas created there that led to October 7th. It's unacceptable. There's no civilized country on the planet would put up with this, nor should they have to put up with what Israel has put up with from Hamas. Right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, when Hamas were voted in, what year was it again? Was it like 2005 or something? So
yeah, 5 or 6.
And I'm pretty sure like over 50% of people in Gaza are like under 18. So when you think about it, a lot of them didn't vote for Hamas, did they?
These three girls over there,
if they
just in a fight.
had some sort of democratic system where there might have been an alternative party to vote for, then they probably would. Because I don't think Hamas that right.
Yeah, they did vote for Hamas.
No, I'm talking about like all the.
They had alternative parties to vote for back then, and they chose to vote. They chose to vote for Netanyahu. That's who they chose for. Who was the leader of Hamas at the time. So that's what happened.
But that's like saying
look at the results of the election. It's all online.
Broad life
for example, Gordon Brown. Okay, like I wasn't old enough to vote for Gordon Brown, so I don't think I would be.
If he is the gorge of the world, eternal life does not.
I didn't vote for him. I just think
leave him and he.
We have to come up with some sort of long-term solution. I think that's the only option, right? Some sort of long-term solution, maybe a new Abraham Accord.
We have a long-term solution. Very soon. They're going to take. Jordan's going to take them all in. That's it. It's going to be the solution.
You reckon?
And it's one for all.
Therefore, if you said about your work with
they're not going to leave, man. They're not going to leave because the thing is,
they will. They
Palestine. You know, they've got the whole
what the ancients said, that which is half shall become.
You know,
well, the
history behind the land.
What you're calling the Al-Aqsa Mosque is built on top of
the Temple Mount and stuff.
Yeah. You know, the only connection that Islam has to Jerusalem itself is not Al-Aqsa. It's actually that they think that this is in the Quran, by the way. So
the Prophet
offending Islam and not. What it is that they think that Muhammad made his night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem on a flying donkey and flew from Mecca to Jerusalem that night, and that was the reason why they have the connection they have. They think they have a connection to Jerusalem, but for some reason people think I'm lying. But it's literally quoted in the Quran itself. So
the night.
That's pretty much the only connection that they have.
I think there was but I'm pretty sure they say like all the prophets walked through Palestine or Jerusalem, whatever it is, you know, like at some point. So the thing is, with that land, it's significant for pretty much every Abrahamic religion. So that's what's tricky about it.
Truly not an empty phrase. Like true completeness is.
No, that's what's tricky about, you know, trying to get people to leave and stuff. Because if it was like some random.
Nobody is telling people to leave.
This is some bullshit over here. These three girls over there were just.
There's no requirement for people to leave. But when you're in a war zone, people
all things of darkness at their back and strive towards the light and the flowing power gives them harmony. Man hate is forlornness, loneliness being a trifle, yet princes and kings choose the.
They have the option of going to a place where there's not, such as Jordan or.
If he is the gorge of the world, eternal life does not leave.
Nobody wants to ethnically cleanse anybody. The Palestinians who are there, who are peaceful, that's who we want.
Whosoever does not cherish his teachers and does not love his subject matter.
Yeah. So would you ever consider like a one-state solution where just everybody becomes a citizen?
We have a one-state solution.
The man of God always knows how to.
You're talking about the Arabs as well.
Yeah.
But then you still got 2 million people in Gaza, however many people.
What do they have to? There's 2 million people in Gaza. Gaza's connected to Egypt. They're Egypt and Arab, and the Palestinians are Arab. So let Egypt take Gaza and be in charge of it.
But they're different types of Arabs, huh? Like the Egyptians are they're Egyptian. I'm pretty sure the Palestinians are they not like Levant or something? I think they're different types.
Whoever wants to be someone will not be.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
There's only a little.
Therefore, if you said about your work with Dow.
You remember, Yasser Arafat was from Cairo. They speak an Egyptian kind of Arabic.
Whosoever has little shall receive whoever.
I mean, if they are very serious about their Arab identity.
What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full.
Israel has under no obligation to welcome millions of enemies into the country. That's like lunacy to me. If they define themselves as enemies, if they define themselves as friendly, peaceful neighbors, anything is possible with peace. You've seen the miracles that Israel has wrought with its development and its world relations. And it's its technology, the startup nation, its agriculture, its irrigation advances, the desalination. Anything is possible with peace.
How do you think they just out of curiosity, how do you think Israel managed to do that sort of like under 100 years, become sort of world leaders in every sector? How did they manage?
Because they put their minds to it.
I think it's a number of things. I think it is also support from.
It's ingenuity. Yeah, Israel invented the technology. This is like original technology.
No. I'm saying they were given the space to. to use their creativity. Put it that way.
What does that mean they were given? Who was given? Who gave Israel anything? What are you talking about?
Look, think about it, right?
No, yeah.
Israel progressed in the space of 60 years more than a lot of countries have done in like 5 centuries. So
That's correct.
What I'm trying to say is, there's reasons.
Yeah, I just gave you some. And ingenuity, dedication, desperation. We had no place else to go.
And they did it, KG, with enemies constantly at their throats.
Yeah.
On every
threat,
under constant threat, active threat, actions, not words. And they were able to accomplish to become the second Silicon Valley. Inventions that brought us into the modern world, many of them. So it's industriousness, it's the will. And there was no will by the enemies because they were given a false hope. That was never the desire or the intention of the people that they look up to as their leaders. They are not leaders. They are the opposite of leaders. Their enemies are the Hamas and Abbas. That's who their enemies are. They're overlords. They have been convinced, as our youth in the West have been convinced, that they have legitimate reasons. None of their reasons are legitimate.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's an interesting thing, but I mean, look, let's be frank, right? Okay, what about the West Bank? Because what a lot of people obviously discuss is the expansion of the settlements.
It isn't called the West Bank anymore. It's now Judea and Samaria, officially, according to U.S. proclamation.
They officially changed it.
Do you have developers in England, PG? You have developers like we do in Canada, in Los Angeles. Those developers are big corporations that they buy land and then they build communities. These are not settlements; they are communities. The word settlement is the place there to make it seem that there's something illegal about you making communities in your own country, in your own land. All the narrative has been purposely designed, Judea, West Bank, to have an agenda. And the agenda is to turn those people who don't think, and I'm glad you're here, and you're one of these people that are here to reasonably think things out. We might not agree in certain things. You might have some ideas otherwise, but you're the kind of person that can be shown that the narrative presented to the masses in the world is a false narrative purposely designed to capture their ignorance.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get what you mean, but at the same time, that there are international laws, and if you look online, for example, I'm having a look at Amnesty International, and what they've got here, it says Article 49 of the 4th Geneva Convention states, the occupying power shall not deport or transfer parts of its own civilian population into the territory occupied.
Yes, Israel was very careful not to do that in order to obey that law.
Right, okay. And it says the extensive appropriation.
Why did you bring it up?
No, because it said, I mean, that the actual article starts with the situation in the occupied Palestinian territory is primarily governed by 2 international legal regimes. And where is it? Israeli policy of settling its civilians in occupied Palestinian territory and displacing the local population contravenes fundamental rules of international humanitarian law. That's what the article starts with. So I went a bit lower than that.
So,
that's just what's online.
Tell me what point you're making.
No, I was asking you guys what you think about obviously what's going on in the West Bank, and Shlomo said they're not settlements, they're communities, and people kind of spread that propaganda to make it seem like it's illegal. Yeah. So I was just responding to that by saying with the actual international laws, they are considered illegal.
Well, you are incorrect, sir. The Israeli government did not send people to settle other people's land. Now, here's a more interesting question. Whose land is that land?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. That's probably why.
Let's try to reason about it. Whose land who do you think it is?
I mean, from what I know, right? I understand that obviously the Jewish people lived there a very long time ago, and then even going up to and the land was.
Let's answer the question, then you can give the reasons. Whose land?
No, it's not a reason. I'm just telling you what I know about the situation.
Let's start with the answer, then we can go into the history. Whose land do you think it is?
Whose land do I? In what sense? In what sense? Like who should govern the land?
Who has sovereignty over the land? Whose land is it? I mean, this is suddenly a difficult question.
I'll tell you why it's a difficult question, right? Because from my perspective, obviously I understand the Israeli perspective, and I also understand what the Palestinians are going through. And the reason why I say that is because this piece of land has been switched, around. It's been passed around throughout history, right? At one point, the Ottomans had it, before them someone else, and after them the British, and then the Israelis. So from a legal standpoint, Israel is Israel, right? But then you've also got the 1976, was it 76 borders or whatever it is? So it's a bit of a tricky question to answer, because I feel like both groups of people do have a right to live on that land.
Okay, and both do.
So that's what I think. In terms of how it should be governed, how things should progress, it's beyond my jurisdiction. I don't know how to answer that, but I would like to see some peace in the region, and people sitting down to talk and settling their differences. Obviously,
do you think the Israeli people want to send their sons to go fight in Jenin or Tulkarem or Kalkilia? That's in Judea and Samaria.
Right.
Do you think people like doing that? They don't. We don't.
I mean, look, but the thing is, right, I have to be honest with you, because I don't want to, like I said, I personally don't have any sort of hatred towards either side, or neither do I have any sort of obsessive attachment to either side. But I have to be completely honest on one of these TikToks and stuff that the soldiers were putting out. It doesn't really, betray them in the best light, because you can say they don't want to be.
I don't care about TikTok. Why do you care about TikTok? What is the relevance?
Well, it's the modern media, isn't it? That's how people get their information. So that's what
So why do you care about it? It's a social medium. It's for children.
I know. Well, I mean, look, in England right now, right, people are actually going to prison for things they say on social media. So
it seems stupid to me, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's gained a lot.
So why don't we get to the heart of the matter and go back to whose land is it? Let me give you a little bit of information you may not have had. In 1948, Israel declares independence on May 14th. On May 15th, 5 Arab nations attack: Egypt, Saudi, Iraq, Jordan, Syria, and 2 Muslim militias, one from Pakistan, and of course the Palestinian had a militia as well. They attacked Israel. Thank you for Lebanon. They attacked Israel with the express purpose of wiping out the Jewish nation that was one day old. The war lasted for about a year. The Arabs lost. The Israelis won. At that point, Jordan took what they decided to call the West Bank, because it's on the west bank of the Jordan River. Jews have called it Judea and Samaria. So Jordan had that land. It was Jordan until and let's say until 1967, when three of those nations attacked again. That's Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. And again, they lost. And this time, Israel conquered from Jordan what Jordan called the West Bank. It's a colonial name. That's not what the people there call it. And what Israel calls Judea and Samaria. And I can't
so what did the people call it then before? So did Jordan
I think they called it the
West Bank?
territories or something. They didn't have a national identity. I think they called it the territories, or they go by clan. They're a clan culture, or they go by their city. It's not like there was a Palestinian nation there or anything. So
wait, hold on. So there was never a national Palestinian identity.
Never.
So what were they under the British?
They were part of the British mandate for Palestine. They were part of a mandate which included Jews and Arabs. And a bunch of other ethnic groups, by the way. It includes Samaritans and Yazidis and Druze. And
so when Jordan had the West Bank, let me ask you this. When Jordan had the West Bank, what about Gaza at the time?
Egypt had
Gaza is another thing.
Egypt had Gaza.
Yeah.
So why didn't they, at the time, right, Egypt give Gaza to the Palestinians, Jordan give the West Bank to the Palestinians, and
just even ask? There was never even a question.
Because they never existed at that time. That's why.
Yeah.
They never existed. There was no Palestinian identity until the 1960s, when an Egyptian guy named Yasser Arafat created this identity.
In